Hello guys, we're building a little bit of a small cottage today. I had kind of an idea for a layout and then I had to figure out the rest of it. This video is a little bit weird though, because I had one of those brilliant Sims 4 moments that we all know and love, where I started building, had a great time, built lots of stuff, and then the game crashed. And I hadn't saved, even though I know better, so I got the outside built, saved, quit, moved on with my life, sat down to do the interior, got through the whole kitchen, had to walk away, thought, okay, save, quit. It acted kind of funny and I was like, uh-oh, and then it just crashed. So I had to do the kitchen twice. So I left the footage in, and the reason is because I did like this really cluttered sort of Girl Meets Farm inspired kitchen at first, and I liked it, and I did not have the heart to recreate it. So I left it so you could see the original style I was going for the house, because then I went hard into left field and built something completely different. So it did get left in here. Also, for some reason, all of my builds, like I've been building at night, I'm not noticing when it's nighttime in build mode. I don't know what that is. I have put a sticky note on my monitor to make a conscious effort to notice that more often, but I do apologize because a good portion of this outdoor area is done in the evening. Also, if you hear a spoon banging around, I have a cup full of broth because I have been fighting just a little bit of some weather-based sore throat and like nonsense. So if you hear my voice, I promise I'm not a pack-a-day smoker or something like that. I just have a sore throat, and I'm possessively hugging a cup of broth right now so that I can do some of these videos, because some of these have been sitting down on my desktop for a while. And the thing is I try to wait till I'm in good spirits and have a strong voice and everything going on. But the problem is I'm up to 5 videos sitting here just waiting, and I need to get them up and get them scheduled to go, because going into the holiday season, I don't know how much, I don't know what my schedule is going to look like. And so I finally was just I gotta buck up and do this. So this one's a little bit older, so some of this is going to be a surprise for you and for me. But I do like it cracks me up though, because you can see the vibes. The vibes that I started with, real strong on this house, on the outside. And then the inside by the end makes no sense, because I was so disheartened when I lost that whole kitchen. I sped up the footage a lot, but I spent eons, and I spent a lot of time off camera just staring at it, only for it to just disappear. Ugh. That's all. Anyways, yeah, and not a lot of landscaping on this one. I do a decent amount of it to start, and I think I change it a little bit in the end, but not a lot of landscaping. I couldn't really be bothered on this one, and honestly, the lot was flat enough with not a ton going on around it that I didn't feel like I needed to super hide the house. It made sense. It was kind of in a clearing. So I did my usual, Pacific Northwest overgrown flower situation. I don't even know what you would call it. I'm gonna take a sip. One moment. That's good broth. It's there's nothing special about it. It's just a little bit of warm broth, but it's very tasty. Oh yeah, I think I lose this part too. I think this part goes away in the crash. I don't remember when exactly I saved. Oh, I put fairy lights up there to start. That's genius. Definitely did not recreate that. And I left the little, it's kind of interesting, I left the little railings blue. It's kind of not picking up on camera. Well, I can't tell because my monitors are two different setups. It's not looking as great on this monitor as it was on the True Color monitor. But I left on blue because it kind of matched the siding, and I thought it was kind of cute with the white and the blue, and I stand by that. But yeah, it's definitely completely different vibes than on the inside. Here you can see where I had roughly laid it out. And it was in the process of trying to figure out the kitchen. I think I end up... No, this is the fun. I was going to say, maybe I didn't show it. I fussed around with the kitchen a little bit because there's one configuration in here where it does not work. Put some lights in, Amanda, so we can see. Thank you. That never works. Wow, that was cool. But yeah, you can see it's a much more kitschy country kitchen. Trying to figure it out. This changes because she can't use the fridge, which is a bummer. I want fridge surrounds really desperately, and I'm at the point where I'm do I care enough to make my own CC, to make fridge surrounds? The thing is I have no idea how to use Blender. I have no idea how to make meshes. But I like doing recolors. I enjoy doing recolors in my very limited free time quite a bit, to the point where I've considered showing off my recolors, but I don't know. but I cannot make meshes. I do not understand it. I have been studying on it, and one day I will be good at it, but at the moment I am not. I'm going to take a sip. I'm going to need to make more broth. But yeah, I wish we had fridge surrounds, was the whole point of that original sentence. I'm gonna put this down for a minute. I wish we had fridge surrounds, because it would make the kitchen look so much more finished, and it would make it easier, because like, I don't know about y'all, but I store so much crap on top of my fridge, in large part because it seems to be the only place in the kitchen that my large dog cannot get into, so a lot of his stuff goes up to. I have a 100-pound standard poodle. His name is Joe. I love him immensely, but he's not chunky, he's tall, so all of that weight is just because his legs are model long, like miles long, and so when he like stands up on his haunches, you know, or like stands up, like hops up on his back legs, he's taller than me. I'm 5 foot. It's not hard to be taller than me, but it's harder to be taller than me when you're a dog. But see, like, I did so much cluttering, and I had pots stacked on books to make it line up right, and I had different sized things, and you're not even seeing all the work I did off camera, and I'm stuttering now, which is interesting and fun, and I had all of this stuff going on, and I loved it, and it crashed. But I wanted to show you, because I think it's a cool idea, and if I'd had the heart to go through and fix it, if I'd had the heart to redo it, I think it's a very cute kitchen, and I think there will probably come a build where I do something like this again, because it's super cute in my humble opinion, and I liked it a lot. But after it died, I didn't have the heart. I also, like, this is a new thing that's been happening to me. I don't know what button I'm hitting or whatever, but I keep queuing the gallery. I don't know what that is, and so you'll see it a couple times, especially in these videos that I'm about to all go through and kind of upload in a bunch. I trigger the gallery a ton. I don't get it. So, oh yeah. And then I spent a million years picking wallpaper, and I was gonna go with the gingham, which honestly, looking back, was a poor choice. So not mad that crashed. I'm gonna sip some more broth one moment. Although, I do think I want to do a house with that gingham wallpaper. I don't know if it would be the whole kitchen, but an accent wall in that gingham wallpaper would be really cute. And I actually don't hate it in the kitchen, but I needed to not pick this yellow. I think had I been given more time in this part of this style of the house before it crashed, I would have changed the yellow out. I'm fairly convinced this yellow wouldn't have stayed looking at it, because I'm definitely the kind of person who puts wallpaper in and then changes it 100 times. I do it less in videos because I know it can be really annoying, but in my personal builds, I change wallpaper like I freaking change clothes in real life. It's ridiculous. I change wallpapers in like my personal Sims house every time I log in. I'm like, I don't like this style anymore, and I always go with beiges too, which are really not in style right now, but I love beiges. I think because I grew up in a suburb of Seattle, everything is gray. Everything is gray and evergreen. It's gray and gravel and evergreen. And look, evergreen and gray are really pretty together, and it works. But when your state is evergreen and gray, and all your buildings are evergreen and gray, and like all of your mascots are evergreen or gray, and then like every once in a while they'll be like, but look, we threw in maroon, you end up hating those colors. You get to a point where you're like, I'm so sick of evergreen, gray, and an occasional maroon. And so like, I paint everything beige. I'm a very, very addicted to it. Because even at one point, God bless my lovely parents, I'm not joking. So the house flooded when I was like 14. Not bad. The washing machine, the gasket blew. So it was like trying to fill up with water for the rinse cycle. And it was like gushing water. It was a front loader. It was gushing water. So the little sensor was like, well, I'm not full. So it just dumped gallons and gallons of water into the house. And the funny thing was we were home, we just weren't near to the washing machine, so we didn't hear it. So I think it was my brother went to the bathroom where the washing machine was, and he got like halfway through the living room and was like, oh my god, what is this? But so we had to redo the entire downstairs because it was an open concept, so you couldn't just tear out part of it, and then in order to get everything out for the remediation, it like totaled the rest of the open floor plan. Because it was it was supposed to be a starter home that my grandpa built, but we all loved it so much we just stayed for a really long time. We only recently, like when I was in college, did my parents move out of it. But what was the point I was making? When my parents repainted, they repainted the whole downstairs in like slate gray, and then in the living room, one of the walls, the accent wall, was maroon, and in the formal front room, sort of situation. And I'm not explaining this really well. Maybe one day I'll build it in The Sims. Anyways, that room was slate gray because the whole downstairs was slate gray. And in that room, the accent wall was evergreen. And I was like, I lobbied so hard for beige. In their defense, they had to because the surround for the fireplace was like in a deep kind of charcoaly gray, so like they couldn't do beige easily without it clashing. And like when we were picking out tile for the bathroom that had to be redone, in their defense, they did a teal bathroom. It was gorgeous, but the tiles were gray because they were on sale. If you hear yelling and barking, I think someone just came to the door because that giant poodle I was talking about, losing his mind. Also, if you just hear stuff in the background today, I'm very blessed, to have my whole family home, and I love them to death, but they are loud humans. I have the door closed. I have a little sign that says, "Hey, I'm recording." They're lovely people, and they think they're being quiet. Anyways, but yeah, you just heard Joe. He's a sweet Hoover dog. He's the gentlest giant you'll ever meet, but he sounds super scary when he barks. This is the new kitchen and the change. I went like much darker in this house, and then I really struggled with how to paint the walls and stuff, and it really doesn't match the outside, but I was so disillusioned with like the cute cottagecore vibes at this point. So, and I do like the way this turns out. The bedroom is really plain, which we'll get to in a minute, but I think it's okay because like in a small house like this, you probably don't want to be super maximal. You don't want a lot of clutter, but English is not. I've been having a real hard time with the English language lately. I don't know what that is, but I really like the inside of this house, and I really like the outside of this house. What it comes down to is they just kind of don't match, but honestly, it's kind of cool. I need to come up with a cool title for this video, something that's like, "Don't judge a book by its cover." That's too long. I don't know. I need to come up with some sort of like unwrapped style, like where you clearly don't. I don't know. I'm not articulating myself well here, but I need to come up with some sort of title for this video that's like, it's not all what it seems. I'm gonna take a nice sip of broth. Pardon me and my sore throat. I won't be sipping broth for very many of these videos, but a couple of these, unfortunately. Also, these videos have just gotten long again, which cracks me up, because there for a while, I was going through like a 7-minute video phase, and then all of a sudden they're all like, I'm 19 minutes long, I'm 22 minutes long, and it's one bedroom, like one bathroom. I'm like, how did this happen? I think it's because they're all like really detailed again. I went through like I don't really want to detail things phase. I rapidly cycle through building phases. So if anyone ever asks what my style is for Sims building, not a clue. Not a clue in this world. No idea. Honestly, 9 times out of 10, it's whatever inspired me on Instagram that day. Crazy. So, I think, I'm trying to remember, this house was either just before or just after the swatch update, and so I don't think I had totally realized I had more swatches. Maybe it's just after. I think actually that's why I used that, no, maybe this was just, I honestly don't remember. I think maybe this was just after the industrial kitchen kit. Industrial living kit? The one where they basically, like, filled out that kitchen set, the vault set or whatever. Why did I say industrial kitchen kit? Because the country kitchen came out, and then it's industrial living or something like that. The industrial kit, which looks really good. I know a lot of people hated it. I have not picked it up yet, but clearly by this house you can tell at least one of my styles is somewhat industrial, so I think it'd be cool. I put a shed in the back, which you'll see in a minute. I did not fill it with anything except boxes to just make it look like a storage shed, but I put that out there because in this house there is no room for hobbies or skill building, and I hate when that happens. It does happen a decent amount, but I always try to leave some area for skill building. And so in this case, I just put like this in, so you could put like a woodworking table in, or you could put an easel in. Basically like just a tiny little hobby shed. To give you something to, like, if you were to download this, you could do something. You could put something in there. Or like, you could turn it into a sauna or something if you wanted to. Just a little more space. Yeah, see, and this is where I realized, I was like, what happened to the front of my house? And then I'll quickly realize, what happened to the back of my house? Yeah, there you go. Craziness. But I think we're coming just about to the end of the video here pretty soon. Having me think about lights most likely, or having me think about the flowers. But pretty soon we'll be jumping into screenshots, I think. I don't think I do too much more out here. Oh yeah, I just put the boxes in because there's so many plants inside, and I was like, I can't be bothered. But you really can't see. There's no lighting or anything. Like I said, I designed it as a storage shed, but it's meant to be your hobby space should you want it. But here's the screenshots. I do think the house turned out cool. I want to try that kitchen style again, but with different pipes. I've had different ideas since building this, and they're a little out of order, the screenshots. Unfortunately, I was having issues with my editor. I've been having actually several issues with my editors. When I hit export, I've knocked my spoon, I apologize. When I hit export, it rapidly changes like the order of the clips. So like when I'm first exporting clips and stuff, because I record in chunks, it will rearrange them, and I don't always catch it. So my screenshots are a little out of order in this one, so I do apologize. But it's okay, it's a tiny house. I think you can probably figure out the order in which it all goes. But I'm going to leave you here with the rest of them. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely weekend, and I will talk to y'all very, very soon.